Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show.
Wow. The inmates are running the zoo, I guess, is an appropriate term for what's happening here.
That sounds about right. Something zoo and inmates.
So hello, tens and tens. You know me as Jermaine's co-host. I'm here with Jermaine's executive producer, Nevada Putnam. My co-host and Eric are noticeably absent from the podcast today. So Nevada and I will be taking you through the Room 303's tournament bracket. It's March Madness, and we're going to be doing the tournament bracket. So it's going to be quick, down and dirty, 15, 20 minutes. We're going to tell you who you like. We're going to tell you who we don't like. And we're going to tell you definitively who's going to win it all. I don't care that the chances are 1 in like 120 billion that you can't get it right. We, here on Room 303, are going to get it right. Nevada, how the hell are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm currently watching the CU Buffs back and forth with Boise State. Got some early money on this game, so obviously I'm paying attention quite attentively, but I'm ready to get this March Madness rolling.
Attentively. That's very good. The tournament game started yesterday. I think CU and Boise is the last game, right?
That's correct.
Of the 4 to be played. So far, Grambling beat Montana State to be the 16th seed in the Midwest. What are the other ones? This Boise CU game will go to the 10th seed in the South to play Florida. What other ones am I missing here? Nevada?
The Wagner.
Oh, right. Wagner won, so they'll face their 16th seed in the West to face North Carolina. And where's the Virginia one? And Colorado State, Nevada, your alma mater,
whoop, whoop.
Beat UVA, a team that I had going. Thank God for these playing games, because I had UVA going a while.
Oh boy!
But they did not score. So that's kind of a preview of how this is going to go. But Colorado State, the 10th seed in the Midwest, they will play Texas. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to share my screen here for the tournament challenge. Let's see that everybody sees this tournament challenge. Nevada, we will start in the East. And okay, I know last year was crazy with 16 seeds beating 1 seeds, and the last couple of years have been crazy with 15 seeds beating 2 seeds. In your bracket, I guess we should start there. What are Nevada Putnam's tips for the ultimate March Madness bracket? How do you break down a bracket, even if you didn't know any of these teams? How do you go about it?
You always got to look for those double-digit teams. We're not going to go crazy with the 16 seeds, but those 10, 11.
So we're auto advancing the ones.
I believe so. Yeah, that's what. I don't have any crazy upsets for the ones. So yeah,
that would be North Carolina, Purdue, Houston, and UConn. Are we auto advancing the 2s?
I believe so. Let me just run through Iowa State.
Yeah. Iowa State, Marquette, Arizona, Tennessee, and Arizona. Long Beach State is not going to pull off an impossible run with a hanging Chad coach.
No, which brings up a point that Eric sent in the chat today. I also heard it on the radio. Is pretty good. Or no, it was Eric. Let me pull it up here real quick. For the last, where to go? other chat.
Love all this. This is all great dead air. So in my brackets, if I'm going to take the loss on a 15, I'll take the loss on a 15 or a 16. I'm going to auto advance because it ruins the brackets anyway. If you miss it, so whatever, I'll miss it.
Yeah, you're grasping at straws if you're going to say a 15 or 16 is going to win. It's fun when it happens, but it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yep. I think you nailed it.
I cannot find. Maybe I was looking in the wrong. Here it is. All right, now we got it. Found the right chat.
Oh yeah.
This is from Eric. In every tournament since 2021, a top 2 seed has lost in the first round to a team with a phallic or euphemistic name.
Okay.
So, in 2021, 15 seeded Oral Roberts
down
Ohio State.
Okay.
In 2022, number 15 St. Peter's defeated Kentucky. In 2023, number 16 Fairleigh Dickinson defeated number 1 overall Purdue.
Okay.
So that's 3 years in a row where they've had a phallic named double-digit seed. And then this year we have Houston taking on Longwood.
We also have Tennessee taking on St. Peter's.
That's a good point.
And South Dakota State.
Yes.
And Long Beach State.
Yes, the famed and Wagon Your Wiener against North Carolina.
And Western Kentucky. You can just make everything sexual.
Oh,
so we're not. But we're ignoring that.
I am. It's a fun one, but yeah, if you're truly going to build a bracket, you're not picking 15s or 16s, and probably not 14s either.
Okay, let's start in the East. So we've auto advanced number 1 seed UConn, number 2 Iowa State, FAU, and Northwestern. What are our thoughts, Nevada?
I like FAU. They are a lethal offensive team. Not so hot on the defensive side, but they can score, and they can pretty much score with anybody.
So, as you see right here, FAU, 82.5 points per game. They are actually 1-2 against the top 25 and have a better BPI rank. I'll take that. We're going to advance FAU. So, Nevada, number 5, San Diego State playing number 12, UAB.
Yeah, this one's a tricky one. San Diego State's probably one of the more senior-laden teams or experience-laden teams in the entire tourney. They were in the Natty last year, so they know how to do it. They obviously have the experience. The question is, can UAB be that thorn in the side? They're one of the what was termed bid stealers this year. For me, I have San Diego State. I think experience will bode well for them, at least to get past that classic 12-5 upset.
Yeah, I also have San Diego State. I think San Diego State, UAB can score, and they can score a lot, but they also get scored on a lot. And I think San Diego State is the team that can score, but also stop UAB. So we'll pick San Diego State. Here, number 4, Auburn against number 13, Yale. Tell me what I want, Nevada. Tell me what I want to hear with this matchup.
Well, how about this little nugget for you?
Okay.
The Auburn Tigers for 23-24 season, their average scoring margin ranks 4th in the country at just over 15 points a game.
I like that.
And they're playing against Yale, a bunch of nerds. I think that's going to be a big one for you. Again, that plus minus essentially differential, and they got depth. Auburn's got depth. They can roll out 2 different starting 5s essentially.
Also, a 4 seed in the tournament that's number 4 in the BPI rank and 4-3 against top 25 teams. They score better than Yale and they defend better than Yale. I think it's a no-brainer. Yeah. Number 6 BYU against number 11 Duquesne.
Yes.
Number 11 Duquesne. I know it's spelled Duquesne for all you haters out there.
Yeah, if you're gonna have silent letters, just take them out. Like, what's the
Right.
point? What are we trying to accomplish here? BYU is a good scoring team. Nationally, they rank 16th at just under 82 points a game.
Mhm.
Duquesne, let me pull up Duquesne, 252
Yeah.
out of it's like 360 something teams. So they're starting to approach the bottom third. I like, well, for this round anyway, I like BYU. Again, too much firepower. They are also number 12 in the nation for scoring differential at 12 points a game.
Can I interest you in the fact that Duquesne has the number 28 when adjusted for efficiency defense in the NCAA?
No. The only reason I say that is that Virginia had one of the top, I don't want to necessarily the top, but they are on the short list for best defensive teams in the country. They can't score worth shit, but they hold teams to get those wins, those low points. And CSU just beat them.
That's why I picked them. Okay,
and beat them by 25 points. So
that's a great point. So BYU advances. Illinois State and Morehead State, or Illinois and Morehead State. Any surprises here in Nevada?
No, I watched Illinois in the Big Ten tournament. I liked what they have. A lot of good players. They seem to play well together as a team. I like Illinois.
Okay, Illinois is advancing. Washington State against Drake.
So here's that, for me, one of those double-digit teams that I kind of like. I'm going to take Drake in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
They're a top 50 team in 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage, free throws, and turnover percentage. All sounds like some pretty good stats to be good in.
Drake is also pretty good. They score efficiently, but they don't score using fast tempo. They're a very high-scoring team, but they don't have a lot of high tempo scoring, which is pretty good. On the other hand, can I interest you that Washington State, very, very low tempo, but very, very good defense, but also 64th in the nation in scoring efficiency? Can I interest you in that, or we're going Drake?
I think for me, the reason I'm on Drake is that they're just a couple points that's pointed out here. They're an efficient offense, so when they get the possession, they're going to go down and score.
Mm-hmm.
They're what I see here, 20. They're in the top 25 in the nation for scoring margin as well as points scored, which obviously lends to an efficient offense. And their defensive rebounding is top notch.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on with Drake. Now let's go kind of rapid fire through this. UConn, we auto advanced. UConn against FAU. Does FAU get the upset here, or does UConn move on?
I'm tempted to go with FAU, but I think UConn is just built to run at this.
UConn, you heard it here first from Nevada Putnam. UConn built different. San Diego State and Auburn. Who do you have advancing in this one?
I got Auburn on this one.
Auburn, I love it. BYU and Illinois. Does it scare you that Illinois here is 1-4 against top 25 teams facing a BYU team?
No, because BYU is not a top 24 team.
Okay.
Or top 25 team.
I think Illinois runs at a little bit of a higher tempo, but they are efficient enough that it's not going to matter. I have Illinois advancing.
Very good.
Iowa State and Drake. Does Drake pull an upset here?
I don't see it. Iowa State's defense is just mean sons of bitches.
I'd agree. Iowa State is Illinois, but better in terms of efficiency, and they don't have to run that high tempo to score. That being said, I think Iowa State advances over Illinois.
I can agree with that.
Because now you're talking an Iowa State team that's number 6 in BPI and an Illinois team that's 1-4 against the top 25. So Iowa State advances. UConn and Auburn, Nevada. this Auburn team 4-3 against the top 25. UConn 7-2 against top 25. UConn number 2 in BPI. Auburn number 4 in BPI. Can I interest you in the fact that UConn plays in the Big East, and because of the bid stealers, the Big East only had 3 tournament teams this year. And historically, you need teams to have 4 bids to advance. What do you got in this?
Honestly, for this one, it's a coin flip. I could be either one. I will defer this one to you.
So Connecticut, very good at scoring. Number 1 in terms of efficiency offense. Number 11 defense. Very, very slow tempo, right? They slow it down, but they're very efficient. Auburn, number 10 scoring offense. Number 4 defense and 58 tempo. I think the fact that Auburn can score fast and efficiently is going to be able to stop any UConn attack that's coming. I'm picking Auburn in this to advance, and I'm really picking Auburn to win the East. I think it's a slight that they are that they are the number 4 seed. Do you have a defense for Iowa State here?
They're pricks on defense. That's my defense.
Iowa State is the number 1 defensive team, but number 55 in offensive efficiency.
Yeah.
So if that Auburn team does get rolling, it's kind of hard to come back with defense.
Yeah, I agree. Iowa State's one of those teams that's going to have to do it, and they're going to have to do it on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Which you might be able to do, but college basketball, it feels like too many times just having good defense isn't gonna get you all the way.
Yeah. There's a championship methodology that I use, and it breaks down to using KenPom rankings, and every national champion except for one since 2000 has been top 21 in offense and top 37 in defense. So something to keep in mind. So Auburn wins the East. Nevada, let's move on to the West. We've already auto-advanced number 1 seed UNC and number 2 seed Arizona. We'll go to the 8-9 matchup. Mississippi State and Michigan. What do you have in this?
I don't know why Michigan State's a 9 seed. I mean, if you wanted to say that they should have been a play-in game, I think that would have been acceptable. They're just riding the coattails of Izzo because they did not have a good year. Granted, I can't say Mississippi State really had a great year either, but they at least have some good aspects to their team. For me, this one is a coin flip. I'm fine either way, unless you got something specific on this one.
Again, I think that Michigan State is a team that, just like I said, not really high tempo, but they have a good. They're very efficient offensively, and they're very efficient defensively. I think it's good enough, at least in this first play-in game, to beat a Mississippi State team. We look here at the information. Michigan State is 18 in the BPI. Mississippi State is 30th. They're pretty much the same. I think that Michigan State wins this game, and we'll take them. St. Mary's and Grand Canyon University, Nevada. Any nuggets on this one?
I think this one's going to be a slobber knocker as far as an offensive side. So Grand Canyon is 49th in the country at 78 points a game, and St. Mary's is at 153. Granted, take it with a grain of salt. They're at 73 points a game. However, when you move to their average margin, in this case, victory, because they obviously won a lot, St. Mary's is 8th in the nation at 13.5 points. Mm-hmm. And Grand Canyon, I just had it here, is right behind them at 14th at 11.7.
Okay. Grand Canyon is 1-0 against top 25 teams, in which St. Mary's is the 15th ranked team in terms of BPI.
Yep, and this is one of those classic 5-12 matchups, which always has something funny going on in round one.
Before the play-in games, I would have gone hard to the mat for a dangerous, read efficient, and slow, read tempo team like St. Mary's. Ever since the Virginia has punched me in the face, I'm ready to be wowed. So if you can wow me with Grand Canyon, I'll take it.
Yeah, the notes that I see for St. Mary's is that they're good on the boards. They have a good defense, which obviously leads to their average margin of victory. And their winning percentage since December 2nd is 92%.
Wow.
Granted, Grand Canyon's at 88%, including against San Diego State. I think this one's going to be a slobber knocker, coin flip. But I'll give the edge to St. Mary's.
Okay, St. Mary's advances. Alabama and Charleston.
I like Alabama in this
Any
one.
Any reason why Alabama won't? What any reason why Alabama would be upset by Charleston?
Their shooting goes cold.
Yeah,
really
I think
cold.
They're a dangerous, fast team. I think that's going to play in the next round. But I think Alabama advances. Clemson and New Mexico.
I didn't see any Clemson stuff. I did see New Mexico being in the Mountain West and obviously winning the Mountain West tournament. There's some people, especially out towards this area of the country, that think the Mountain West got underserved as far as their seedings. I mean, you win your conference. Granted, San Diego State's really good, but you have a 5 seed versus 11 seed discrepancy.
Yeah.
New Mexico is really good, and they're head coached by Rick Pitino's son, Richard Pitino. Ooh. So they know how to play ball. Their guy up top knows how to play ball.
Dick Pitino.
Yes.
I think Clemson is a slow team. I think they're very efficient on the offense, but I think New Mexico is going to use that tempo. And if New Mexico gets hot, they can beat Clemson. And for that reason, I will take New Mexico over Clemson. Are you good with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay, Baylor Colgate, a 3-14 matchup. I think Baylor is on the cusp of being one of the best teams in this tournament.
Yeah, I think they could. For me, for the brackets I've done. Yeah, I could see him going Final Four, or I could see him out in the second round.
Yeah, their defense is what's going to let them down, but I don't think Colgate's going to upset them.
No, I think
we'll advance Baylor. Dayton and your namesake, Nevada.
Yeah, again, another Mountain West team. This one I have myself advancing.
Okay. I will also I agree with you, but you tell me why I agree with you.
So, as far as Dayton goes, they kind of rely on the 3-point shot, which obviously can be good or bad. If you're hot, it's good. If you're going to live by the sword, die by the sword sort of offense. Some notes on here for Dayton: they're not quite as efficient. Kind of have a Virginia defense and
you've sold me
vibe and tempo. So. That could be pretty concerning. And then Nevada's been on fire. They're 10-2 since February 1st.
All right, so number 10, Nevada advancing. So first matchup in the round of 32, number 1 UNC against number 9 Michigan State. Any reason why UNC won't advance here?
I don't see one.
I don't see it either. I think North Carolina is one of the better teams in this tournament. St. Mary's in Alabama does what we talked about. Right, Alabama is kind of that weak, fast team, right? Does St. Mary's defense slow Alabama down, or does Alabama advance?
I don't think St. Mary's defense can. I'd like to say yes because they're second in the nation defensive wise.
Mm-hmm.
But Alabama is just so talented shooting. They're the number 1 scoring offense in all of land at 90 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
a lot of tempo. Bad defense, though.
Yeah.
St. Mary's is a top 50 team in defense.
Yeah, I have
And there's the
Bama.
St. Mary's train rolling in.
Yeah, I have no idea what train that was. That was probably semi. I got Bama.
Okay. Does it scare you that Alabama is 2-7 against top 25 teams?
No. For me, when
That's a little scary.
it comes to March Madness, like regular season really doesn't mean shit. If it did, these would be a lot easier.
Okay. So Alabama advances. All right. New Mexico and Baylor. Does New Mexico continue their magical run? Against a Baylor team that is pretty susceptible on the defensive end, ranked 64th defensively. If New Mexico can catch fire, that's a good team to catch fire against the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I like Baylor, like we mentioned for their first round. This is a team that could go far, or they could get out here, and this could be a tricky out for them. Again, with Rick, would that be Rick Pitino Jr. At the helm? I think New Mexico might run out of fairy tale dust at this point, though.
Okay, we're gonna pick Baylor to advance. Arizona and Nevada. It kind of seems like Arizona lets us down every year in a spot like this. Arizona against Nevada. Is this where Arizona lets us down?
I don't see it. I don't see that.
So Arizona advances. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup here for the West. North Carolina and Auburn. Is this where Auburn runs out and runs up against a North Carolina team that is very, very good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So North Carolina advances. Baylor and Arizona. Baylor, again, let me remind you, 64 ranked defense. Arizona, 8th in offensive efficiency, 12th in defensive efficiency, 16th in tempo.
I see this as where either team disappoints you.
Okay.
So, whether it's Arizona or Baylor, this is where the prime spot where they'd fumble it and bow out. So the fact that they're going head to head, something's got to give between the two.
Okay, so who are we picking? I'll say Arizona.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
50-50 for me.
North Carolina and Arizona. Is this a North Carolina just demolish job?
For this section of the bracket, I think so.
Okay. It doesn't scare you that North Carolina does not have a top 21 offense, and that Arizona has the 8th ranked offense in terms of efficiency.
Not
that's a no. North Carolina moves on. All right, so now we'll move to the South region. We'll pick it up a little bit here. The 8-9 bracket: Nebraska and Texas A&M. Nebraska, one of those teams, they can score quickly. They're a high tempo, high efficiency team going up against Texas A&M. Who do you got in this?
I got Nebraska.
Okay, Nebraska moves on. Wisconsin and James Madison.
Yep, here's that trendy 5-12 pick. I liked Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament, but I don't know. There's something about James Madison that I think would scare teams. So I'm going with JMU.
Let's move on with JMU. Go. JMU is what, the Monarchs?
Sounds right.
Maybe, I don't know. JMU, Dukes. By the way, is Dukes. Dukes.
That's what it says. James Madison Dukes.
Okay. 31-3 on the year. Top 75 in tempo, offensive efficiency, and defensive efficiency. Duke and Vermont. Please tell me Vermont can pull this off.
Sure, sell it to me.
No, I don't think they are. I think Duke is one of the best teams in this tournament. I think ranking a lot of the 4 seeds really got ranked low in this tournament. But Duke is one of the teams that I think is going to go for a while.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
All right, Texas Tech, NC State.
Let's hear it.
So NC State last won the ACC tournament in 1987. They were also ranked as an 11 seed. They lost that game. NC State, when NC State gets a run like this, and everybody's excited for them, they let you down the next game. Texas Tech advances, and it's not even close.
Wow. All right. Fair.
Kentucky and Oakland. Is this John Calipari just complained about them expanding the tournament team? He said, don't mess with the format. Kentucky is one of these fast teams. These teams that play fast, and when they run out, they don't really play that well. Is Oakland a team who's ranked below 100 on every category? Are they the team that beats them?
Next.
Okay, Florida. What's the Boise, Colorado score right now? The Boise CU score?
They're coming back from half. It was 26-24 CU.
Okay, so who wins this game?
You're talking Florida game?
The Boise, Colorado game.
Oh. Well, for betting,
that would determine. For betting purposes.
For betting purposes, I need CU to win.
Okay, so we'll say CU advances. Number 7 Florida playing number 10 CU.
I have Florida, but be careful because Florida is the number 5 team in all the land in scoring at 85 points a game. And out of, 360-ish teams?
Sounds about right.
They are 327 in defense, giving up 78 points a game.
Yeah, I think Colorado is top 25 in scoring efficiency. Boise State is top 50 in scoring efficiency. I think Colorado has a chance to win this game. I don't know if they will. Well, of course, I don't know if they will. But we're taking Florida to advance?
I think so. Just the firepower.
Okay, Florida advances. All right, let's go. Number 1 Houston against number 8 Nebraska. Does Nebraska have enough to beat a Houston team that probably a little bit slower tempo and could, I think, well, I'll just say this. I think Houston slows down Nebraska and Houston advances.
Yeah, I love this one sentence is a perfect summarization of Houston. Playing against Houston is like getting a root canal without any Novocaine.
Oh, yep. That's good. Yeah. So Nebraska is going to experience that. Do the Dukes keep it going against Duke?
The non-Duke fan in me wants to go with JMU.
It's going to be Duke.
Yeah, the logical who can win a basketball game, it's Duke.
Okay, Texas Tech will have Duke advancing. Texas Tech and Kentucky. Kentucky, kind of that fast team. Just Texas Tech looking at Texas Tech's defense. Texas Tech is no, I can't find it. I just had it. Do you have your stat on? Oh, Texas Tech, top 50 defense, top 23 offense. Slow tempo. They can slow this team way down. This Kentucky team down and score with them. Do you have a reason why Texas Tech doesn't beat Kentucky, Nevada?
I guess the biggest reason would be as long as Kentucky can keep raining down those threes. That's what they're known for.
And do they?
I mean, at some point, the threes are going to run out.
Hell yeah! Texas Tech advances.
Sure.
We already made an argument for why Florida is not good. I think they're running up against a very, very good Marquette team. Are you fine with advancing Marquette?
Yep.
Houston and Duke.
I'm going to stick with Houston just because their defense is just a pain.
Right. Texas Tech and Marquette. Top 21 offense, top 19 defense in terms of efficiency.
Yeah, I think Marquette can make some noise here. I'm taking Marquette.
Does Marquette have the stones to knock off a good defensive team in Houston? Number 17 offense, and not very good with tempo. Houston is.
Well, and that. Oh, you're saying as far as on their defensive side?
No, I'm just saying in general, Houston is not a high tempo team.
Oh,
but still very efficient.
Yeah, I just don't see what exactly is going to knock off Houston at this point.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll go to our final one here in the Midwest. We've already advanced Purdue, the number 1 seed, Purdue, and Tennessee. Utah State and TCU. TCU, pretty good tempo, pretty good offense, top 45 offense, top 30 defense.
Mm-hmm. This one again is 50-50 for me. Even just looking at their stats, they're almost identical. I'll give it to TCU just because they play in the better conference.
Okay. TCU, Gonzaga and McNeese. I feel like Gonzaga does this every year. That they win a game, they're going to blow out McNeese by like 40. Then they're going to lose the round of 32, or they're going to lose the round of 16. Gonzaga does not go past that in any of my brackets.
Okay. Yeah, McNeese is kind of that one of those trendy picks because they can score, but yeah,
Gonzaga doesn't let you down yet.
Right.
Gonzaga is a constant round of 30 or a round of 64 team.
Yeah.
They win in the round of 64 by a lot.
Yeah, they're ready for it. Yeah.
Kansas, good team, but here's my trendy pick of the tournament. Stanford. Stanford is a team that can shoot the lights out. And they are very, very fast in terms of tempo. I want to pick Stanford over Kansas.
I'm right there with you. That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah. Okay. So the Cox and the Ducks. Number 6 South Carolina against number 11 Oregon.
Oregon was interesting. The problem with Oregon is they got a ton of injuries that kind of blew them through the season. That really put them behind the 8 ball in the conference. But they came back and won the Pac-12, beating the CU team. And when I was watching the conference championship game, their center, it's like Kanafi Dante.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a relatively miniature Joel Embiid.
Okay.
Just tall, kind of brutish. I like him as a center. I have Oregon upsetting South Carolina.
I agree with that. South Carolina going into my bracket, I really was a fan of South Carolina because they're that dangerous, slow team that can just grind you away, but they're pretty efficient. And then watching Virginia shit the bed, I've completely changed my thought process. Creighton and Akron, the 3 versus 14 matchup. I don't think Akron is good enough to beat Creighton.
I will agree with that.
Okay, Texas and Colorado State. Texas is a trendy pick for a lot of people. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the roomies here. There's more Texas fans than CSU fans.
Yeah.
Texas
really, really good offense, not good defense.
Yeah, I just looked up the spread. The spread is only 2 points in this game. I'll go with Texas because their talent is better.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I'm not going to be upset, and I'll be pulling for the Rammies, of course. But I'll move in Texas.
All right, Purdue against TCU. This feels like TCU, or this feels like Purdue's year, doesn't it? It feels like all of the stuff that happened last year with Fairleigh Dickinson. This team is 1 year older, 1 year more experienced, and I feel like people are just expecting them to fail.
I have them moving past this round.
Okay. Gonzaga and Samford.
Oh, man. I want to take Samford, but...
Come on, let's do it.
All right.
Gonzaga,
for the roomies, we'll do Samford.
Samford. Moving on. Number 13 seed Samford. All right. Oregon and Creighton. Is this where Oregon's magic run ends?
I think so, yeah.
Creighton is a very, very good team.
It's the best team they've had in quite a while.
Yeah, and that's saying something. I think Tennessee is too high quality to get past Texas. or for Texas to get past. However, doesn't this seem like if Texas can just get motivation in them, if Texas wins that one game, maybe they can get motivation. The reason not to believe in Tennessee, their tempo, I guess. Texas can play at Texas doesn't play at a high rate either, but Texas can score and maybe force Tennessee to play at a higher tempo than they're used to. I don't know. I don't see Tennessee losing this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think their talent on the Tennessee side is better than Texas. Both good teams, but there's a reason Tennessee is number 2.
Yeah. Okay, Purdue and Samford.
Purdue. I think Samford starts to run out at this point.
Yeah, they might run out here, but Gonzaga's not making it past Purdue. I think Purdue advances here anyway. Creighton and Tennessee.
I like Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with Creighton on this one.
Okay. Tennessee has a worse offense, but a better defense. Tennessee also comes from a conference that has 8 tournament teams. That doesn't sway you? You're a Creighton man?
In this instance, yeah. I think they're a 3 seed, so I wouldn't say they're undervalued, but again, this is probably, if not the best, one of the best Creighton teams we've seen in quite a while. So,
okay, now I'm going to use my executive privilege to trip this here. I'm going to have Creighton beating Purdue, and I only say that because if you look at our Final Four, we would have had 3 number 1 seeds, and we can't do that. You have to only have 2 number 1 seeds in your Final Four, as bracketology tells us. Are you fine with that?
I was going to say that because I got Creighton winning that game as well.
Okay, Auburn, North Carolina, our first Final Four matchup. So our Final Four, Auburn, UNC, Houston, and Creighton. Who do you have winning Auburn and North Carolina?
Give me Auburn. Why not?
Auburn. All right, Houston and Creighton.
Man. I don't know if I'm just a sucker for the Houston defense, but every single one of those guys buys in to be total pricks on defense.
Yeah.
And you got a bunch of players on a team that buy into that, and I think they have a chip on their shoulder, which is ironic because their record is 32-3 or something on the year.
Yeah. So does that mean that Houston is the Room 303 national champion?
I'm fine with that unless you got something else.
I like Auburn. I just think that I don't know that it's going to be I don't know that they're better than Houston. I think they can beat UConn. I think the Magic will have ran out by Houston. So how many points will be scored in this tiebreaker game, Nevada?
See, we got Houston, Auburn.
Auburn averages 83. Houston averages 73. We'll meet in the middle and say 77.
Yeah, I was going to say like 152, 153, somewhere in there.
Sounds amazing. And you have that there. Now, Houston, number 1 seed Houston, over number 4 seed Alabama in the national championship in Glendale, Arizona, August 8th. That's the Room 303 bracket. We did it in Nevada. We did it in all in 45 minutes.
And we'll take Buffett's, is it $1 million or is he up to $1 billion now?
I think it was $1 billion, but I think he got rid of it for legal reasons. I think he couldn't do it anymore.
Well, we'll be waiting for that check, and
yeah, I mean this is the correct bracket, right?
Yeah.
This is nobody can pick a better bracket than this.
And I know the listeners are looking at their bracket and they're like, "Well, that's a dumb pick that they just did." No, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Put it in
how about you're wrong?
Yeah.
How about you're wrong? 13.8% of all ESPN brackets picked Houston as the champ. UConn is actually the most picked champ. UConn was actually picked by President Biden and Stephen A. Smith. So that's something. We share a national championship with Hannah Storm.
Okay.
And that's all that I recognize.
Okay. Well, I'll take it.
Final thoughts for opening weekend of the NCAA. Do you remember the best you've ever been at an NCAA opening weekend?
I know I've had different regions go undefeated, but I can't think off the top of my head percentage wise.
I went 16 for 16 on day one once. And then went like 8 for 16 on day 2. Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. And then lost the first 2 games. I was like, oh, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many of those lower seeds traditionally that would upset people, how much they actually do.
It seems like it's been happening a lot more that these lower seeds come in and win. I picked a couple in my own personal bracket. I picked let's see, a couple of upsets. I picked Duquesne as an upset. I picked New Mexico. I picked Nevada. I picked Samford. I picked either Boise or Colorado. That's kind of the trendy picks, but I don't think I picked any 12s. I didn't pick any 12s.
You don't have JMU?
I don't have JMU. I think Wisconsin is better. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to work, but there has to be some regression to the mean, or maybe not. I don't know. Enjoy basketball. It's awesome. I love March Madness. Enjoy betting. Nevada, I know you have your own personal bracket. Good luck to you.
And to you.
Yeah. And with your spirit. What do you have anything else for the roomies before we sign off?
No, enjoy the long weekend of March Madness. It's probably one of the better weekends in all of sports.
I do agree. All right. Well, that's all we got for you. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.